Time now for Ankeny Centennial High School football on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN.TV is the state's premier source for high school sports streaming.
He's got an open sideline. 20, 10, 5, and that is a Jaguar touchdown.
Ankeny Centennial football is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet, Shields, the Better Business Bureau, Central Bank. Now let's go to our CISN.TV crew for Ankeny Centennial High School football.
Good evening and welcome to Ankeny Centennial football on CISN. I'm Trey Condon in for Paul Yeager this week, joined by Adam Benz as we get ready for this one. A district showdown in district number 2. Ankeny Centennial comes in 5-1 overall, 2-0 record in district play, while Fort Dodge comes in with a 4-2 record, 0-2 in district action. Adam, as you look at this one, an important one for Fort Dodge. Really, they have any chance at all of winning a district title, it's got to start tonight.
Yeah, I think if Fort Dodge wins tonight, very good chance to go to the playoffs, if they win the district title or not as far as their RPI goes. If they lose it, they still have a good RPI ranking, but they certainly probably have to win out from that. Kind of a playoff-type game tonight, and it really feels like that in the air with the little chill with the temperatures dropping tonight.
It is 41 degrees here as we get ready for kickoff, about 15 minutes away on CISN. Well, let's start first with Ankeny Centennial for Adam. For us, our second week in a row seeing the Jaguars. They had the walk-off win last week on the road at Southeast Polk. A well-played game there. Avery Gates making the big plays on the outside. Their quarterback, Hayes Gibson. First time seeing him last week. Really impressed by his performance.
Yeah, he had a lot of poise when it came down to just driving the ball down the field to get that field goal to win. Hayes didn't waver at all, took him right down the field, got the field goal. And talking to Coach Matt Miller before this game, the Fort Dodge head coach, he said the key to their game is stopping Avery Gates on the edge. If you can keep him in between the tackles, slow that running game down, that's going to be the key for them defensively to win the game. And Coach Miller said his linebackers is stopping Avery Gates, running side to side. Fort Dodge, not real big up front, but they employ a good 3 to 4 linebackers on that backside, and should be a good matchup to watch Avery Gates, see if he can beat those linebackers of Fort Dodge.
Getting out to the edge, getting outside, of course, Tyler Johnson inside for Ankeny Centennial, that high-powered offensive attack that they have on the ground. Well, Adam, you mentioned the weather here. It's windy, it's chilly out there, and really you got to figure that's a negative for Fort Dodge. They like to throw the football around with their quarterback, Thorson. He's put up good numbers so far this season. Run the spread. They're going to look for matchups on the outside that they can try to exploit.
Yeah, and he's a preferred walk-on invite to Iowa State as an athlete, quarterback, wherever they can try to use him at. But certainly athletically, Fort Dodge might have the edge. And, if this game was played in the dome, a weather-type situation, I think it would be a little bit more even. Obviously, going back to the roots of Coach
Pizzetti's?
The Pizzetti's,
yes.
They're going to try to run the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to do first and foremost. Fort Dodge probably wants to spread it around a little bit, use their athletes, use their running backs, use Clayton, even in the passing game. So certainly from that standpoint, the weather, I think, probably leans a little bit towards Centennial.
Dason Clayton, a name that many people know that have watched Fort Dodge here in the CIML and other sports, not just football. There's been a bunch of Claytons that have come through and bet at a high level. That's the running back for Fort Dodge, averaging 6.6 yards per carry, and he's a guy that's going to be looking for the seams as they spread you out here. Assignment football for Ankeny Centennial. Playing a spread team, a different kind of look tonight. Certainly got to be sound in your fundamentals.
Yeah, and Fort Dodge, again, I think Fort Dodge is kind of known for being tough. That's one thing that Matt Miller has brought to the table with the Fort Dodgers over the years, is a little bit of toughness. However, they do want to spread the ball out, get it to their athletes, get it to Clayton, use their quarterback in the run game. So Centennial has to be disciplined how they play, because if they go to sleep on the running back, then the quarterback's going to be, or the wide receivers. So they'll try to spread the ball around, use their athletes in that manner. And Coach Matt Miller, like I said, I went to college in Fort Dodge at Iowa Central. Post Randy Reiner's era, of course, they had success with Randy Reiner's there. Maybe went down a few years, but when Coach Matt Miller came in, He's gotten that Fort Dodge program rolling over the years. I got to give him a lot of credit. A lot of times coaches are judged on championships. What did you know, how many state championships you won? What have you done here? But Coach Matt Miller always puts a great product on the field. I'm not sure if he's kind of up there in Fort Dodge, not in the metro, not getting a lot of press and publicity, but let's give Coach Matt Miller a lot of credit here for what he does for that Fort Dodge program. Always has a competitive team and does a great job for his kids.
And a wounded team coming in, 2 consecutive losses after the 4-0 start, but they were 2 tight losses. That we saw last week, Centennial and Southeast Polk. That was a 3-point game. Fort Dodge lost a 3-point game against Southeast Polk. And going back, and I watched the film against Roosevelt last week, that was a game Fort Dodge I think might be kicking themselves. Plenty of opportunities to win that one.
Certainly, and there's no question this District 2 is the toughest district in the state at all levels, 4A, whatever. In my opinion doesn't matter, but four of these top teams in District 2 should make the playoffs. They are certainly 4 of the top 10 teams. We'll see how it all shakes out, but these are – we saw it last year, Southeast Polk. They were in a tough district, got in the playoffs at 4 and 5. There was some grumbling about that, but they end up playing the Dome, Trent.
And they get to play it off, and the RPI system certainly awards teams going out and scheduling at a high level. What other area of the game tonight want to get your thoughts on, and that is special teams. We talked about the walk-off winner last week out of Ankeny Centennial, and what a great finish that was after working through 2 kickers, but it was Connor Page that hit the walk-off last week. He's kicking at a high level. That's something that Ankeny Centennial throughout the years certainly has had, and going back to just the single high school days at Ankeny High. On the other side, though, and if there's a big advantage, it might be for Centennial there, Fort Dodge hasn't kicked a field goal yet this year. Right. Their kicker hasn't kicked a touchback yet this year. And if it becomes one of those games where it's back and forth, special teams edge, certainly the way of the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think Centennial certainly has the edge there in the kicking game. I think they're perfect on field goals this year, so that's huge. And, again, like you said, Fort Dodge has not attempted a field goal, so that tells you a lot about what they have the faith in their kickers. And talking to Coach Matt Miller, he did not mention the kicking game at all, so that leads me to believe he's not 100% confident, not saying that he doesn't have something in his back pocket. But if this does come down to a field goal, you need a big play in the kicking game. You certainly got to give that edge to Centennial because – number one, they prove they can do it, and just that has been the Ankeny tradition. Like you said, back when they had a single school, they've always had a good kicking game, and you just got to give them that edge.
Connor Page with the walk-off last week. He's perfect 4 for 4 in field goals this year for Ankeny Centennial. Countdown to kickoff continues. We'll take a timeout. Coming back, it's Ankeny Centennial and Fort Dodge on CISN. We're back with more in a moment.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. Here we go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Ladies and gentlemen, remind you to remain standing until the colors have been retired following the playing of our national anthem. A special thank you to our 8th grade marching band.
Welcome back to Ankeny as we get ready for kickoff. Ankeny Centennial at home against Fort Dodge. Trent Condon joined tonight by Adam Benz. Glad to have you here with us tonight. A chilly one, and well, it seems like a lot of people maybe sticking it out at home this evening, Adam, and keeping an eye on the game here with us.
Yeah, by far the coldest game of the year. The wind is definitely going to play a factor in this one, I expect. Really haven't had – these teams probably haven't been tested this weather-wise yet. You expect this type of weather in the playoffs in November, but certainly this has a playoff type implications within the district and as far as RPI goes. So the winner is certainly in the driver's seat for the playoffs of this one, and it's one of those things where the loser has if Centennial trips up and loses this one, they probably are a little bit have a little bit better shot at the playoffs. If Fort Dodge loses this one, they have a good, still probably should have a decent RPI, but they certainly have to win out from that point and probably have to hope that their opponents have a good record as well.
Taking a look at the other matchups tonight in District 2, along with this matchup with Fort Dodge and Ankeny Centennial. Marshalltown tonight over at Drake Stadium taking on Des Moines Roosevelt. That should be a really good game there, two evenly matched teams. Southeast Polk, they get the sixth team in the district. That is the Wolverines from Sioux City West, who are struggling again this season. My wife's alma mater, Wolverines, haven't seen many wins here.
No, and we've seen Southeast Polk last week, and a very solid team. We've seen them twice this year, and fully expect that Southeast Polk is going to control that game.
In District Number 1, it'll be Ankeny High. The Hawks are over at Lincoln tonight. Dowling on the road in Sioux City. They take on East Sioux City North on the road tonight at Hoover. That's from District Number 1. Over in District Number 6, Indianola hosting Johnston this evening. It's Des Moines East at home for Mason City. Waukee hosting Ottumwa in District 7. It's Ames on the road at Council Bluffs TJ. Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln over at Valley Stadium. And Urbandale on the road at Des Moines North. That's a look around the CIML here this evening in district play. Week number 7 of the Iowa high school football season. Adam, I say it every single year. It's crazy how fast this season goes.
It is amazing that we're into Week 7. Playoffs are going to be here before you know it. Certainly this is the marquee matchup in the Metro, one that has some of the most playoff implications, especially at the 4A level. That one over at Drake Stadium, though, Marshalltown, Roosevelt has a lot of implications. Roosevelt obviously has some high expectations after the way they've started, so see if they can get it done against Marshalltown over there. I know there's probably a lot of people here in the Des Moines Metro rooting for Roosevelt, but Marshalltown is no slouch there.
Going to be keeping an eye on that one. Roosevelt last week beat this Fort Dodge team. 16-14 was the final in that. We'll take our final break of the pregame show. Coming back with kickoff. It's next on CISN. We're back with more in a moment.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com. It's Truck Month.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Trent Condon, Adam Benz back with you once again. Ankeny Centennial walking out onto the field. Jerry and Ryan Pizzetti, the co-head coaches, out there on a chilly night for football. Ankeny Centennial wearing their home black uniforms with the silver pants and silver tops here tonight, and just that touch of red trim. They don't utilize that red very often.
Not a lot. A lot of the uniforms for the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars are pretty much that dominant black and silver.
It's a good look and a good-looking team certainly this year for Ankeny Centennial, ranked number 6 in the latest rankings. You know, it's been talked about a lot this year. Dowling's already been handed a loss. We've seen Valley undefeated to this point, but people feel it's wide open. Do you feel it's that same way, that it's not one or two teams that can win it? Maybe there's 5, 6, 7 teams that can win it all?
You know, absolutely. No question Valley looks to be the top team at 4A right now. Just who they've beaten. They beat Dowling, the returning state champion. You know, a lot of the teams in 4A have a loss, but I say, you know, Valley's obviously number 1, and after that, you have one of 12 to 15 teams that could make some noise in the playoffs. We saw Southeast Polk make the run last year at 4-5. So all these teams have something to fight for, and that's kind of what this is all about. It doesn't matter what your record is, as long as you get in with your RPI, you can make some things happen. This same Ankeny team was rated number 1 going to the playoffs last year.
And Southeast Polk got them in the opening round and ended their season certainly a lot earlier than anybody anticipated. Also, as we talked about here throughout the pregame show, playing for RPI, it's the teams that you schedule, it's who you play. That plays a big part in who gets into the playoffs. Another component of that, though, is the way that they reseed once you get to the Dome. It's not a true bracket, a 16-team bracket. The 4 teams that advance through the 4 mini-pods, if you will, they reseed it when they get to that point. Do you like that system, or do you like the traditional 16-team bracket, set it up, and fire away?
Yeah, and I think we had 8 teams in the playoffs. Or
16.
16 in the playoffs. Okay. I think the way they set up is fine. Like last year, Southeast Polk was the 4-5 team. Okay, they made it the playoffs. Match them up against the Jaguars, and they got it done. So I think if you're able to move on and have the ability to do so, then you will.
Captains making their way out to midfield as we get ready for the coin toss. Ankeny Centennial, Fort Dodge on the far side of the field. See them in their traveling white uniforms with the red pants and black helmets here tonight. And the ceremonial coin flip. Now the wind is coming in from the south and moving towards the east, so more of a crosswind here tonight, not the headwind sometimes that you see.
No, we're not seeing it. At first I thought it might wreak a little bit of havoc in this game, but from what I'm seeing on the field and the flags and walking in here, it's not going to be as bad as we thought. And I asked you about the playoffs. I was thinking in my head, actually 16 or 8, but I was thinking it was 32.
It used
now
to
we're
be,
back to 16, so that's where I was questioning that. But yeah, it was 32. Now we're back to 16, and I do kind of like if they're using the RPI system, might as well just rank it the way it is. And like I said, if you're good enough to move on, we've seen Urbandale in the past move on with the 3-6 record. Southeast Polk last year. So I think if these teams are good enough to move on, they will.
Now the team's starting to take the field as we get ready for opening kickoff. Ankeny Centennial will get the football, and they're moving left to right as we get ready here. Back deep to receive for Ankeny Centennial. Nick Shirley wearing number 1. He's joined back there by Dylan D'Angelo, a couple of seniors back deep to receive as a kicking unit comes out for Fort Dodge. Their kicker, Gabber Schillestrom, yet to get a touchback this year, but he does have a little bit of wind at his back here. We'll see what he can do, trying to get a right foot to it. A sophomore, 5'8", 150 pounds, wearing number 1 as he tees it up, and we are ready for football. Fort Dodge on the road here tonight against Ankeny Centennial. A squib kick from Schillerstrom as that rolls down to the 22-yard line. Finally picked up there and brought down at the 22-yard line. Well, you take that, certainly. We talked about some of the struggles at kicker. You'll take that every time if you're Fort Dodge.
I think they're trying to keep it out of their hands, the playmakers back there that Centennial had, and great bouncing kick. I think that's exactly what Coach Matt Miller wanted out of his kicker. He'll take Centennial starting out the 21, 22-yard line every time.
Hayes Gibson, the quarterback for Ankeny Centennial, comes out. 6'1", 171-pounder for the Jaguars. 5 touchdowns this year through the air, 4 interceptions. He's thrown for 624 yards as he puts a man in motion. That's Johnson. Gates gets the carry, countered to the right side, and he's brought down after a short gain. Call it 3 on first down, and you'll see this throughout the game tonight. Gates and Johnson kind of moving back and forth between those 2 running back spots.
Yeah, Fort Dodge is going to come out in a 3-4 defense. The strength of the Fort Dodge defense is their linebackers. Talking to Coach Matt Miller, said that the linebackers is certainly what carries them. So they were hoping to keep Avery Gates bottled up inside, not let him break those long runs on the outside.
2nd down and 7 for Ankeny Centennials. They work from the 25-yard line. There's a run up the gut, breaking to tackle Johnson. He's about past the 30, 35-yard line. First down run for Tyler Johnson. Physical run there for the first.
Yeah, Johnson's the more physical runner of the two between him and Avery Gates. And the one thing I said it last week when we were on the air, Johnson's always leaning forward, always going to get that extra yard. Not going to, just blow you away with his speed, but a hard-nosed guy. He actually made a guy miss there in the hole and made a nice little sidestep.
1st and 10 from the Ankeny Centennial 37-yard line. They have it moving left to right across your dial. Pistol formation with the back over the left hip. Johnson goes in motion. They'll hand it to him. He is hit in the backfield, stuffed on a great play. Check that. Got caught already as Hayes Gibson kept that one.
Yeah, they're trying a little misdirection play there. Great assignment football by Fort Dodge.
Yeah.
They had the running back covered, had the quarterback covered. They had a man for everybody. And we saw a lot of that misdirection from Ankeny Centennial last week. Obviously, the Dodgers have prepared for that all week and are ready for it.
That seemingly happens every single time I call a Pizzetti coach game. I get caught. You'd hate to have it happen this early.
Well, he definitely wants to run the ball, and he's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve out of different formations, and they're coming out of a different formation here tonight that we haven't seen.
10:05 to go, 2nd down and 10. They'll go to Gates to the right side. Gates cuts back at the 40. He's ripped down there by the Fort Dodge defense. Good flow out of the Dodgers up front. In on the tackle, that is Levi Egley. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, kind of a flex bone type formation there. They ran the motion. They ran the kind of a counter play back to Gates coming back this way. Another new wrinkle out of the Centennial offense. So, the Pizzettis will have something up their sleeve tonight.
9:35 clock in the first quarter as Centennial breaks the huddle, facing a 3rd and 6 from their own 41-yard line. Just underway, no score between the Jaguars and the Dodgers. On our Central Iowa game of the week, we'll get a timeout. Ankeny Centennial going to talk it over. Saw some miscommunication there in the huddle.
It's kind of something similar we saw last week. They came out in that formation. I think they were lined up wrong again. We saw them waste 2 timeouts in the second half last week, Trent. Coach Pizzetti cannot be happy with that. Being a disciplinarian type that he is, you don't want to waste timeouts by lining up wrong.
9:24 left, just underway in the first quarter. No score, Fort Dodge and Ankeny Centennial. Trent Condon, Adam Benz here with you from Ankeny, the middle school, Northview, one of the many middle schools up in Ankeny. The football field's been here for years, resurfaced years ago, and this nice new press box now in its 2nd year of a full season use.
Yeah, it's lovely in here, and we're nice and warm out of the elements in here, Trent.
Can't beat that. 3rd down and 6, Ankeny Centennial after the timeout. They come back on the field from their own 41-yard line.
And look at Dylan D'Angelo's in the slot here, so that's his favorite target, so looking to go there.
Spread out, 3-receiver look. Gibson looking to throw complete. Found D'Angelo for a first down. Just short of midfield, a gain of 9 on 3rd and 6. and move the sticks for the Jags.
Yeah, when they came out of that formation before, Dylan D'Angelo was not in the slot. That's when Coach took time out. Kind of what I was thinking is that D'Angelo, I didn't see D'Angelo in the slot, and I was wondering if they're going to come back to that like they did last week. And certainly Gibson's go-to guy is Dylan D'Angelo.
Leading receiver for Ankeny Centennial this year, came in 13 grabs, 288 yards, and a touchdown, averaging over 22 yards per catch.
You got D'Angelo in the slot again here.
1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line in motion. Gibson going to keep it himself out past the 45-yard line of the Dodgers. Nice gain on 1st down. He picks up 7.
We're talking about Dylan D'Angelo. His mother, Tina, is at home tonight, probably watching and listening to us. She had back surgery this week, an old softball injury. So hello to Tina, and Dylan's playing hard out there, Tina.
2nd down and 3 now for Ankeny Centennials. They work into Fort Dodge territory. Their opening drive of the football game inside of 8.5 to play in the first. Tight formation now from the Jags as they put a man in motion. Second man through, it's Gates. He pops out to the left side. 35-30, 25-20, going towards the corner, in, touchdown. Ankeny Centennial, 44-yarder for Avery Gates.
Well, they pulled out the old wing T formation there, ran a counter back to Gates to our far side, and exactly what Coach Matt Miller said. Did not want to get Gates the edge because when Avery gets on that edge, he's gone, and there's nobody out here on this field that's going to catch him.
Caught the edge, great speed to the outside. Avery Gates, another touchdown in the books for him on the season. That is his 4th of the year as the special teams unit comes out. Connor Page on to attempt the extra point. Page the hero a week ago with the field goal at the gun, knocking off Southeast Spoke. His kick on the way, plenty of leg. And it's good. 7-0 Ankeny Centennial with the lead. 8:09 to play in the first quarter as we continue. You're watching high school football on CISN.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
8:09 to play in the first quarter. Ankeny Centennial takes the ball down and scores right away as they lead it 7-0. Here's a kick into the wind, grabbed at the 10-yard line, bouncing to the outside, 40
He could be
to
going.
midfield. Big return
gone.
for the Dodgers, 20, 10, touchdown for Dodge. What a response there, all the way back. Tyler Schreier for 6.
Just got great blocking there on the return, and when he turned on the wheels, there was nobody going to catch him on that one.
Just set that one little spot there to the outside. Basically had to kind of shimmy around one defender and then off to the races.
And, you know, the Ankeny kicking game is pretty great, and I think a lot of times they get touchbacks, Trent. I'm not 100% sure if the Jaguars were at their full speed running down. They're probably expecting a touchback, but, you know, kind of kicking into that south wind. The ball only got to the 10-yard line, and Schreier made him play.
On to attempt the extra point. It'll be Gavin Schillerstrom, the sophomore kicker. Began the game with a squib kick to get us going. Now he'll try to get the first point of the night for him. Kick is up and knuckles through just like that. We're tied up. Ankeny Centennial 7, Fort Dodge 7 as we continue on CISN.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High-Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-Beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Another squib kick from Fort Dodge, picked up back at the 12-yard line, breaking a tackle out past the 24-yard line. That's where Ankeny Centennial will get their second possession after the turn from Dylan D'Angelo.
Yeah, again, they are employing that squib kicks just so the Jaguars don't do what Fort Dodge did to Ankeny. They're returning the kick, but what a huge response by the Dodgers. Should get their sideline going. Normally, you kind of be worried about your defense being a little bit tired and hot here, but on a night like this, it shouldn't affect them that much at all.
7:48 left in the first quarter, tied up at 7. Ankeny Centennial marched right down their first possession with the football, went 78 yards for a score here, 76 yards away from pay dirt as they work with a man in motion, play action pass. Gibson's going to take a shot. He's got a man wide open, incomplete. Carter Kester got turned around there and couldn't come up with the ball.
Yeah, great pass by Gibson. I think if Kester just keeps running the same route, he came up with the big play last week when they against Southeast Polk. They went into the double tight, full house backfield, ran him on the corner route, and he was wide open there for a big play. Shows me that Coach Pizzetti, when he wants a big play, he's going to go to Carter Kester, and a huge target out there for Gibson.
Kester this year, 4 catches for 74 yards, averaging 18.5, and a couple of touchdowns to his credit, including one that put him inside the 5 last week. Gates on the run up the middle, fights forward for about a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and long.
Had a couple big lead blockers out there, and he's kind of tripped up 2 yards into his run, but really seeing the Centennial Jaguars run a lot of old-school wing T principles here, Trent. Jerry Pizzetti might be reaching back in the old playbook, kind of going away from all the zone read, all the stuff that you've seen last few years from the Jaguars, and going back to that old wing T stuff.
Chilly night of football here. Ankeny Centennial and Fort Dodge tied at 7 with 7:11 to play in the first quarter. 3rd down and 7 for the Jags with the football. Gibson going to look to throws, got a screen set up, completes it to Johnson. Johnson cuts back at the 30, 35, got the first down to the 37-yard line. Well-designed play out there, got those big guys with some space, and Johnson made a guy miss.
Yeah, Johnson just continues to impress you. Not the most flashiest guy out there, but when he gets the ball, he runs hard. What I love about him, he's always going north and south. He's not looking to sidestep people unless he's right in the hole, but puts his head down, and he's very impressive when he gets the ball in his hands as far as that goes.
Centennial working from the right hash, 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. 6:33 to play in the first quarter. Johnson goes in motion. They'll hand it to Gates. Counter to the right side. Brought down. Nice tackle in space there by Austin Lee, the leading tackler for Fort Dodge, but not before he gets 6.
Hey, generally don't talk about the offensive lineman unless they do something wrong, but yeah, big 54 Jackie Wells there threw a nice little block in the middle, moved the nose guard out of the way, and when Fort Dodge is running that 3-man front, you got to take care of the nose guard to open things up in the middle.
2nd down and 4 from the 45-yard line for Centennial. Running game has been very effective against that small front from Fort Dodge. There's a counter play with the quarterback keeping it. Gibson's got the first down as he bounds past midfield into Dodger territory to the 49-yard line and another first down.
Yeah, that's where Fort Dodge has to try to get them in those 2nd long, 3rd long situations, because if Ankeny can just chip out 5-6 yards to the crack, they're going to keep running all day long against that undermanned Fort Dodge front.
Well, we certainly know that Ryan and Jerry Pizzetti would be content with that. They could get 5-6 yards at a time. They would do that all day long. 1st and 10 from the 49. Tight formation for the Jags as they go 2nd man through. Avery Gates cuts back past the 45 to the 44-yard line. A first down run of 5.
Just a little counter play, and again, they'll take 5 yards to the crack. And you notice what Ankeny's doing. They're just trying to get the ball to their 2 horses, Johnson and Avery Gates. Did try to go to the play, the one play to the tight end that was open, if he would have ran the route and continued on it and not stopped, probably could have been a huge play if not 6. But just can expect to get the Pizzettis to continue to pound the ball here with Gates and Johnson.
Tyler Johnson going to check out here. He'll get a breather. 2nd down and 5 from the 44. Gibson hands it to Gates. Not much running room this time as he's brought down after a gain of 1. And again, Austin Lee, somebody that you said Coach Miller mentioned before. He's playing well.
Yeah, those linebackers for Fort Dodge, I'm just noticing here, they're all over the place. Austin Lee's name came up in the conversation with Coach Miller, saying he's one of their leaders in the defense. And you can just see if the defensive line for Fort Dodge, the 3-down linemen, can keep those linemen off the linebackers, they will make plays.
4:20 clock in the first quarter. 3rd down and 4 from the 43-yard line for Ankeny Centennial as we play in the first quarter. Pistol formation as Johnson goes in motion. Avery Gates takes a handoff, bounces to the outside. He's got the 40 on the edge to the 30, 25, 20. It's a race to the pylon, knocked out of bounds. Had the angle against him, but Avery Gates again bounces it outside and shows great speed.
Yeah, it was kind of like the formation was a unique one. It was more like a flex bone that you see Air Force and those guys run. Again, they're running those principles, like kind of option type principles, and anything they can do to get Avery Gates on the edge. Centennial loves to do that.
Knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Like the wind is actually blowing the ball off where the ref put it.
Rolled off the spot. They'll try it again as the ref stands over it.
Yeah, they come out these like wing T type formations, and they're definitely going with this wing T system tonight.
Couple of backs in the backfield. Also looks like a slot back. He goes in motion. There's trouble on the snap. Ball almost came loose there, but Gates,
I think
Gibson
the ball
fell over.
Did come on the ground, went right back to him, it looks like. But you see Centennial, it's a little mix of that Air Force flex bone, little wing T principles. Every once in a while they'll jump an I and run it, but I would say the majority of their running formations have been on this wing T stuff.
So a loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line as we go inside 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Tied up at 7. Ankeny Centennial deep in Fort Dodge territory. Gibson hands to Gates, left side. Gates hit right at the line again. Boy, flowing defense. That's the way the Dodgers going to have to slow them down.
Yeah, those linebackers run really well side to side. Again, that was counterplay out of the wing T formation, pulling the backside guard, tackle around. He had blocking there, but well read by the Fort Dodge linebackers and just a solid stick right in the hole.
So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 9, continuing to go backwards. Start at the 5, down to the 8, now back to the 9-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Gibson, the quarterback, works from the shotgun. He's got Avery Gates on his right hip. A couple of receivers out to the right. Rolling out to the right side. Design run for Gibson. Not going to get there, though, as he's brought down at the 6-yard line. 4th down and decision time.
I think he's actually at about the 3-yard line.
Oh, he is.
Got the soccer lines down
got
there.
Me.
Yep.
It got you last week, got me this week.
Got me last week. I thought they were running the track, and that was the actual end zone at Southeast Polk, but I think they're going to go for it here. 4th
and goal from the 2. 2:10 to play in the first quarter, tied at 7.
Well, if you like to run the ball, Trent, you might as well go for it on 4th and 2 in high school football, and that's what they're going to do. Come out of the wing T formation again.
Power set. Gibson with the man in motion, hands to Gates. Gates fights through the first arm tackle and in for 6, touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run for Avery Gates, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, if you're lining up in pro formation, they would call that ISO. Very same principle out of this. They line up in that wing T formation. Had the slot back motion, which was Avery Gates, and Johnson was the lead blocker on that and did a heck of a job getting up on those tough Fort Dodge linebackers. Not too often you see a tailback as your leading rusher willing to stick his up in there and get the lead block on the touchdown.
Connor Page on to attempt the extra point for Ankeny Centennial. Snap back, hold down, kick is good. 14-7, Ankeny Centennial with the lead as we come back. High school football on CISN.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day. Or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill. We deliver delicious.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Ankeny Centennial kicks off after taking a 14-7 lead. Kick goes into the end zone for a touchback, and certainly a welcome sign there for Ankeny Centennial after giving up that touchdown return.
I think he could have got it on the bounce and might have had some room to run there. It was kind of disappointing he didn't grab that because that's been their best offense so far.
Haven't had an offensive possession yet. All they did, a kick return. Ankeny Centennial with 2 possessions, 78 and 76-yard touchdown drives. Avery Gates capped both of them with touchdown runs. 14-7, Ankeny Centennial with the lead over Fort Dodge, as we'll see the Dodger offense for the first time. Isle Thorson, the quarterback, as Fort Dodge spreads it out with 4 receivers, puts the running back in motion. Quick pitch, and complete out near the 30-yard line. Good, nice, strong throw there to Tyson Kershaw.
Yeah, went right to their top guy on offense, Tyson Kershaw. I believe he's no relation to Kershaw from the Dodgers.
No. Not a good time to be related to him.
No relation to Clayton Kershaw, but certainly the top guy that they want to go from the Fort Dodge Dodgers. Has made a lot of plays for him, and might as well go right to him right away.
Gain of 9 on first down, 2nd and 1 from the 29-yard line for Fort Dodge as they try to run it up the middle. No room there, hit for a loss as the middle of the Centennial defense all over it.
Yeah, they ran a nice little run blitz right up the middle, and the linebacker just didn't get touched, and you expect him to make the play if he doesn't get blocked.
Fort Dodge going hurry up here as they face a 3rd down and 3 from the 27-yard line, a loss of 2 on the run for Clayton. Thorson, the quarterback. Trip receivers to his left. He's got 2 wide right and a empty formation for the Dodgers.
Certainly 2 different styles here, Trent, between the Dodgers and the Jaguars here. Dodgers spreading out. Jaguars going a little more old school wings T style tonight.
Thorson taking a shot across the middle's got a man out there. Kershaw complete. 1st down. Throw a little bit high there, but Kershaw, great adjustment.
Heck of a snag. The coach said he's a USD recruit. Going to be a Coyote next year, it sounds like, and heck of a catch there by Kershaw.
1st down for Fort Dodge at the 33-yard line. Their first down of the night. Centennial leads 14-7 over the Dodgers as we play late in the first quarter, inside of 20 seconds. As the clock runs, another empty look. 3 left, 2 right for Thorson, the quarterback. Design draw as he runs it up the middle, fights forward for maybe 3. Not bad there, and got to be able to pick things apart. But that'll do it for the first quarter.
Yeah, trying to spread them out there, and really wasn't any linebackers in the box. They had the 2 outside linebackers coming in when they recognized the job. But the defensive line of the Jaguars did a great job using their hands on there and shedding the blocks. And I think the Jaguars will be okay with this high-powered Fort Dodge offense. Give them 3 yards to play.
14-7 as we played 1. We'll take a quick timeout. The second quarter is next. You're watching high school football on CISN.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Trent Condon, Adam Benz back with you in Ankeny. Second down and 7 run on the first play of the second quarter from Kershaw. Nets forward. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Dodgers from their own 40-yard line. 14-7 Ankeny Centennial with the lead over Fort Dodge. A good one here between two good teams. Centennial 5-1 on the year. Fort Dodge 4-2. Empty formation for Thorson, the quarterback for the Dodgers, as he shouts instruction to his receivers. 2 left, 3 right. And he takes the shotgun snap, quick pitch, and complete. Going to depend on the spot. Looked like he might have been short.
Yeah, probably about a yard short there. We'll see what the kind of decision time here for the Dodgers. Have not been able to stop the Jaguars. We'll see if they want to punt it back to them.
As there is 11 minutes to play in the second quarter, Ankeny Centennial 14-7 lead, and they are going to send the punt unit out onto the field. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, the quarterback, Thorson, is also the punter for Fort Dodge.
Well, he's looking over there at the sideline, so he's probably looking to see what the defense gives him. Jaguars look like they are in a punt-safe type defense, so actually don't even have anybody back right now.
As a man goes in motion, that's Potratz across. Rugby-style punt from Thorson. Got a good one there.
Gets the roll. Yeah, get the sideways roll. Didn't get the roll he wanted.
But it'll be marked down right near the 25-yard line.
I think at this point in the game, it's probably the right call, Trent. You don't want to give Centennial the ball on your side of the 50-yard line. You're only down 7. Just got to hope that Centennial can make a mistake here. But really, Fort Dodge has got to tighten up against the run here. Probably force Centennial to pass the ball at this point.
So Centennial will get the football for the 3rd time. Their first 2 ended in touchdown drives. It was a 78-yard drive and a 76-yard drive. This one will start from the 25, 75 yards away.
Well, and Fort Dodge wanted to come in this game stopping Avery Gates, and he has their 2 touchdowns on the night, so they've got to do that.
And Gates gets the first carry and gets to the outside, to the 40. Midfield, it's a foot race. To the 30, 20, he's gone. Touchdown, Jaguars. 75-yard touchdown run. Have a night, Avery Gates.
Yeah, he ended up taking that one inside. The wide receiver's blocking. I thought he should have bounced it outside, but his speed is so electrified it didn't matter.
What a run there.
Yeah, and he came in as the second leading rusher on the Jaguars, but we knew that he had the ability to do the things he's doing. Even Coach Miller knew that. Coach Miller said they had the key to winning the game tonight was stopping Avery Gates. He has all 3 touchdowns for the Jags, so if Fort Dodge wants to get back in this game, they certainly have to stop the run.
As Page will come out to attempt the extra point. His 3rd opportunity from 20 yards away. Kick is on its way and good. 21-7, Ankeny Centennial with the lead over Fort Dodge. 10-12 to play in the second quarter. As we come back, high school football on CISN.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Dodge on the kick return, faking the reverse, trying to get to the outside, cutting back at the 30, still on his feet to the 35-yard line. Good return there, again for Tyler Schreier.
Well, it's been their best offense so far tonight. It's certainly 2 different styles. The Bazzettis that want to run the ball, pound it. I think Ankeny only have 1 pass tonight. On the missed ball, the tight end. I guess they hit D'Angelo. I guess on a third and 6.
Had a screen set up, but
they had a screen. But for the most part, Ankeny wants to pound the ball. Fort Dodge coming out in their spread set here, see if they can get something to go, and probably going to try to go to Kershaw.
21-7 lead for Ankeny Centennial over Fort Dodge as we play here in the second quarter. Got a running back this time in the backfield with Thorson, the quarterback. They'll hand to him. Cutting back, gain of a couple as they hand it off there to John Presswood, sophomore, getting a run.
Yeah, he's averaging 11 yards a carry this year, so why not try him and see if he can make something happen.
Just 13 carries, but 147 yards for the fullback. Trying to bring a little bit of physicality into the game. Still spread out, though. 3 receivers left, 1 right, with Presswood in the backfield with Thorson.
Looks like he's changing the play, looking over the sideline.
Thorson taking a look at the Ankeny Centennial defense. He's going to throw. Pitches it out. It is complete to Kershaw. Kershaw lit up just past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the Jaguars are just playing kind of a soft zone defense. Just keep everything in front of them. They ran a run blitz on that very first play of the night, but since then they haven't blitzed. And they're giving Kershaw a little room out there, but they're doing a great job running the ball.
Clock ticks inside of 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Jaguars 21, Dodgers 7. As Fort Dodge tightens it up, Thorson shouts the instructions to his offensive line. Takes the shotgun snap, rolls out to the left, looking for a man. Pressure comes. He is sacked, brought down by Desmond Vaughn.
Well, just mentioned that the Jaguars hadn't blitzed in a while, and right there they ran a loop with the nose guard and brought the middle linebacker right behind it, and nobody touched him, and heck of an open field tackle there for the sack.
5th tackle for a loss this year for Vaughn, second on the team with 32 tackles coming in. He just shot through there, and even with that pocket moving, he was able to find a lane and get to the quarterback.
Yeah, Dodgers were doing turn back protection there. Just center should have got, but the Jaguars confused and they ran the center across the face.
Thorson,
the center picked him up and left the spot wide open for the.
Thorson does not get a good kick on that one on the rugby style. That one goes forward. It'll just be a 13-yard punt at Ankeny Centennial. They feel smelling blood in the water now. 21-7 they lead, and they'll get the football on the plus side at the 48-yard line of the Dodgers.
Yeah, a lot of times in this situation you see teams maybe try to go for the dagger, go for the big play, but I expect the Mazzettis just to keep hammering the ball and use Avery Gates and Johnson in that run game because that's what they love to do.
Gates, 3 touchdowns already here in the first half and a 21-7 lead for the Jags. 1st and 10 from the Dodger 48-yard line. Play action pass. Gibson hit as he threw. He's got to be it out there. It's Johnson. Complete at the 20. Loses the ball out of bounds.
No, we just mentioned that sometimes teams like to go for the big play, and they did. They had Johnson lined up as the wing back down here. Just ran a kind of a wheel route, wide open, fumbled the ball, but unfortunately for the Dodgers, it went right out of bounds.
So a big gainer for Ankeny Centennial again. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Dodger 12-yard line. And seemingly everything Ankeny Centennial is doing offensively is coming up in a positive light. 1st and 10 as they break the huddle with 7:49 to play in the second quarter, up by 2 scores, trying to make it 3. Now working under center is Gibson, but before the snap we have whistles. We'll check down on the field. Nothing yet from the far side line judge. And it'll be an offside. Check that. Offsides against the offense.
Just lined up in the neutral zone on the offense, so they just called it right away.
Don't see that very often.
Unusual call, but it is in high school if you line up in the neutral zone. Probably more of a safety thing. They don't want the play to happen because they're going to penalize the offense anyway, so they just blow it dead right away.
So that'll bring it back to the 17-yard line, 1st and 15. Pressure up the middle, and ball comes out. Ankeny Centennial, though, falls on it all the way back at the 29-yard line as the offensive lineman, Trey Morris, pops on that.
Jags came out in that double tight wing T formation, and I think the defensive staff for Fort Dodge said they had enough. They brought almost the house up the middle there to cause that fumble.
Well, and great timing there from Levi Egley. He timed it right up the gut as he was shooting that A-gap, and he was able to disrupt everything. So it'll be 2nd and 26 now from the 28-yard line. 7:11 left in the second quarter for Ankeny Centennial. They'll spread it back out with 2 receivers right. Johnson goes in motion. Gates gets a carry to the left side. and pitter-patters his way forward up near the 21-yard line, a gain of 5.
Well, there's no question that Levi Egley is one of the best players in that Fort Dodge defensive linebacker spot. Again, all three linebackers there in the middle are very solid, but Levi's all over the place, trying to make plays. 5'10", 215. Not going to wow you with his size, but in terms of just being a solid high school linebacker at that height, is making a lot of plays. You can see that every single time they want to run the ball, Ankeny sending a guard or a fullback on him because they know that he's definitely their playmaker on defense.
3rd down and 19 for Ankeny Centennial from the 21-yard line. 6:22 left. Gibson looking to throw. He's going to take a shot to the end zone. Incomplete. Just missed D'Angelo.
Yeah, put it in a spot that only D'Angelo could catch it. Just missed him. Threw it in the right spot because if he throws that to the inside, there was 2 defenders there. Could have been picked. So really, honestly, even though he didn't make the completion, it was a solid throw by Gibson. Put it in the right spot.
And the kicking team will come out now for the Jags as Connor Page will come out to attempt the 38-yard field goal. This would be a season long for him.
A little bit longer than last week, but he had plenty of leg on that one, so see if he can hammer it home here.
Fighting some windy conditions as the snap comes back. Hold down. Got the kick. Plenty of leg, and it is no good.
Had the wind at his back on that one coming out of the south, but just pulled it to the left here a little bit as we look at the goalpost.
Just a bit of a pull there, so it'll be a missed field goal, and Fort Dodge will get it at their own 20-yard line. The high school rule, a little bit different. Don't get it at the spot of the hole or anything like that.
I still don't understand at the NFL. You get it at the spot, this seems weird. That's not the actual line of scrimmage, but trying to make scoring happen more at the NFL and college level. But big possession here for Fort Dodge. If they can score here, they get the ball back at the half, they can get right back in this game.
Important possession, no doubt. 6:12 left. Jaguars 21, Dodgers 7 as we play in the second quarter. Empty look for Isle Thorson, the quarterback for Fort Dodge. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to his right as he looks to change the play. And before the snap comes, we have flags coming. Didn't see the play clock there. Not sure if he ran out of time. He did.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I hate to have that coming out of right after getting the ball.
Especially Fort Dodge is used to that hurry-up type offense. It's kind of something you wouldn't expect out of them. I just didn't feel like they had a sense of urgency coming off the sidelines there.
So move it back 5 yards to the 15-yard line. 1st and 15 is where Fort Dodge will have it. Thorson looking to run. Can't find anybody. He's going to be sacked.
The Jags played some line games up there, twisting some defensive tackles around and stuff. Just confused the Dodger offensive line.
Ethan Frazier, the nose tackle, first there. And he saw Thorson. He was trying to get out of there and try to run with it.
If he got out of there, he had a little bit of room to run, but solid tackle there.
Loss of 5 on the sack from Frazier. It'll be 2nd down and 20 as this drive is going backwards now for Fort Dodge. They trail by 14, 21-7. 5.5 to play in the second quarter. 3 receivers left for Thorson as he throws a swing pass out to the left, complete to the 15, and not even there. Just a short gainer as he completed to Schreier. It'll be 3rd and long.
Trying to get the ball in the hands of Schreier, who had the kickoff return early, get it in the hands of a big playmaker. But one thing that you got to be impressed with is Centennial's ability to open field tackle. They've just been doing a great job of that all night.
High safety look here on 3rd down and long, 3rd and 18.
Timeout.
Whistle, and we'll take a timeout. 5:04 to play in the second quarter. Jaguars over the Dodgers, 21-7 as we come back on CISN.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Trent Conn and Adam Benz back with you. 5:04 left before halftime. Ankeny Centennial leading Fort Dodge 21-7.
Huge play here for the Dodgers. If they want to get back in this game, they got to make a play here.
3rd down and 18. And the use of that timeout trying to draw up something good. Thorson across the middle, complete, but not much running room as he just flipped it out to Shada. But just a couple on the play, it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Jags were content to play coverage there. They only rushed 3. Kind of looked like a lot of what the Iowa State Cyclones do when they rush 3 and drop 8. That's what they did there. And when they came out before that play, they had 4 down linemen, took the timeout. They were content to drop 8, and then they just had 4 guys at the sticks and let him throw it underneath and come up and tackle.
So Thorson will be back in punt formation again. Quarterback, also that rugby kicker, got off a better sidewinder here as he bounces into Ankeny Centennial territory. Continues to roll all the way past the 40-yard line, and that's where it'll be whistled dead. 4:17 left to go. Plenty of time, certainly, for Ankeny Centennial.
He did that rugby-style kick, and if number 1, Nick Sherrill, wanted to grab that out of the air, he had a lot of room to run. I'm assuming he's probably taught not to do that, but the ball was coming, and he could have saved about 10, 15 yards and probably could have had a nice return. But it's really critical for the Dodgers to get a stop here to stay in this game.
21-7, Ankeny Centennial leading Fort Dodge as we play in the second quarter. 4:17 left. Hayes Gibson, the quarterback, trying to take a shot, but pressure comes, and he's brought down. Good start for the Fort Dodge defense there on the tackle. Jake Harrison on the sack as they brought some extra pressure.
Austin Lee was the first one, number 41. He lined up as the left defensive end. Did a great job with a nice little swing move on his offensive tackle and forced the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and the defensive tackles cleaned house. But that's the second time we've seen Ankeny try to go for the big play in the passing game coming out on the first play. So I expect him to go back to the ground here and get some yardage back.
2nd and 17, a loss of 7. Johnson goes in motion. Gates gets a carry on the left side to the 40. 45's got a hole. 50. Cuts back 40. 35, 30 to the end zone. Touchdown, Avery Gates. 4th score of the night. This one, a big one, 67 yards.
Yeah, just the Avery Gates show. It's they ran Johnson in the slot motion, just an old school wing T counter coming back to our near side, Trent. He had 2 blockers out ahead of him. Honestly, one of the blockers didn't even have to touch anybody. Avery made the linebacker miss, and he was off to the races.
So another big drive. 67-yard touchdown run. Avery Gates, he's got touchdown runs of 44, 2, 75, and 67.
So Avery's going to have more yards tonight than he had coming in.
Page with the extra point attempt, and he knocks it through. 28-7, 3:22 left before halftime. Centennial rolling here as we come back.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill, we deliver delicious.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
3:22 left in the second quarter. Centennial a 28-7 lead over Fort Dodge. Squid Kip picked up by one of the upbacks for Fort Dodge, breaking out near the 30-yard line on the return from Thomas Daniel. So Dodgers with decent field position here. And
yeah, one thing they can't complain about is the field position. They've had good field position. Again, they're down by 21. If they can get a score here, Trent, they get the ball back at the quarter or at the end of the half or after half at the beginning of the third quarter. But it is critical. They got to do something here with the ball. Got to go to their weapons. Kershaw, get the ball in the hands of Clayton and make something happen here.
31-yard line is where Fort Dodge will have it. 1st down and 10 as they trot out onto the field. Thorson, the quarterback. It's been sharp at times with him in the backfield. John Presswood, the fullback. Tighter formation this time as he takes the ball on the carry. Not much running room for Presswood. Up the gut. Maybe got a couple. He spun free, but after the whistle.
Great job by the Ankeny defensive linemen using their hands. Linebackers throwing the ball. Just, Fort Dodge tried to put it back in their face a little bit, getting a little bit more of a running formation. They've been going 5 wide a lot, but it looks like they're going back to what they're used to and spread it out here.
It'll be 2nd and 9, just a gain of a yard to the 32-yard line. Twin receivers on each side of the formation for the Dodgers here. Running back Presswood in the backfield with Thorson, the quarterback. He rolls out to his left, looking to throw. He's going to take a shot. He's got a man out there. Caught out near the sideline. Did he get a foot
I think
in?
He got it.
He
nice
did.
Catch.
First down all the way to the 38-yard line. Beautiful play there as they pick up 30.
Now we got a flag on the play.
Out just past the line of scrimmage with that pocket rolling.
It might be on the Jags. Everybody's walking the Fort Dodge way, roughing the passer.
Oh, that it is. So that turns into from a big gain to an even bigger gain.
It was either roughing the passer or one of the Jags grabbed one of the guy's face mask. I saw one of the officials give the face mask pull to the other one, but that's add another 15 on that, and that's just what the Dodgers needed.
They move it all the way to the 23-yard line. Fort Dodge in business with 2:26 left in the second quarter. They trail Ankeny Centennial by 21, 28-7 our score. Thorson brings the running back, Presswood, up with him over his left hip as he works from the gun. Looks to the right side, he's got a man out there. Complete touchdown, Fort Dodge, Tyson Kershaw for 6.
Yeah, they looked over the sideline. The Jags actually stepped up into press man coverage on the outside with the free safety. And if you play press man coverage, Trent, you cannot, the number one rule is you cannot let that receiver on the inside. The Jaguars corner here on the outside didn't let him get a free release the inside. It was an easy pitch and catch for those two. I mean, Thorson's going to make that throw all day, and throwing a guy like Kershaw, that's an easy touchdown for the Dodgers, and just what they needed.
Dodgers back on the scoreboard, a response there with 2:22 left. On to attempt the extra point for Fort Dodge. Gavin Schillerstrom, sophomore, made his first extra point attempt. This one a low liner, but through 28-14. 2:22 to go before halftime as we come back on CISN.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill, we deliver delicious.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
2:22 left in the second quarter. 28-14 is the score. After the play, there was a personal foul penalty against Ankeny Centennial. So the Dodgers will kick off from the 45-yard line of Centennial. And boy, they've struggled so much defensively. Would you think about dialing up maybe an onside?
I was just thinking about that. It's like, field position really doesn't matter at this point. You still got to stop them. So you might want to take a stab and bounce one around, or might want to take a shot here. And that's what they're going to do.
They do. There's the onside. Got to go 10 yards, and it doesn't.
Didn't go 10.
Just 8 yards is all it did there before it was hit the leg of a Fort Dodge.
Had the right idea. Had the side spin on it if it goes 2 more yards. Because really the Jaguars weren't reacting to it very well. If it would have kicked it a little harder. Not sure if must not be a penalty in high school football for illegal touching, but Ankeny certainly set up in good field position, but you can't blame the Dodgers, for trying something like that. You just, as a kicker, you got to execute and get 10 yards.
Yeah, I love the call there from Coach Miller and company.
But it's critical to get a stop here.
They do.
Big play. I mean, they're going to get the ball in the third quarter. Ankeny in these situations have gone to the pass coming out of the first play to start the series. Let's see if they do that or go to their bread and butter, Avery Gates.
Avery Gates has been the big player back tonight as he's got 4 touchdowns. He'll take the football again. He's got a big hole out near midfield into Dodger territory. He picks up 17 on first down.
That's the old school cross buck action there out of the wing T formation, and why not? Why wouldn't you give it to Avery Gates? I mean, every football coach in America that has the production he's had in the first half would give it to him in that situation. And now you can really, you're on the other side of the 50-yard line 2 minutes ago. You can probably run any play you want in the playbook. You got D'Angelo in the slot here, so look at that.
2 wide receivers out to the right, but they'll run it with Gates again. This time he picks up 7.
Well, if Gates is going to get 7, why throw it to D'Angelo, right?
Feels disappointed for him, though, only to get 7 after the night that he has put together.
Brings his average down a little bit.
Second out and 3 from the 39-yard line now for Centennial. Minute 35 left. Quick throw out to the right. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Keaton Gray.
Well, Centennial took a play out of the Fort Dodge playbook there. Went a little bit of hurry up. Wide receiver is wide open. Just got to make the play there. Would have had the first down. Now, a critical third down here for Fort Dodge. You're probably bordering on 4-down territory here for Ankeny Centennial. But you got to come up with a big stop here if you're a Dodger. And just give you a chance here in the second half. Give yourself a chance here in the second half.
3rd and 3 from the 39 for the Jags. 2 receivers right. Gibson puts a man in motion, goes to Gates through the left side. First down and more out near the 20-yard line. He picks up 18.
And this, if it's working, why quit? I just expect Pizzetti here to feed the ball to Gates again and again and again.
Clock rolls inside of 80 seconds left in the first half. Ankeny Centennial working quickly. Gray flanked out right along with D'Angelo in the slot. Tyler Johnson in motion, keeping it himself is Gibson. He's got the first down inside the 10-yard line to the 9.
What I've noticed from last week to this week is, Tyler Johnson came in as the leading rusher. And last week, Avery Gates would run a lot of that slot motion, kind of the decoy look out of the wing T formations. And this week, Johnson's running the slot stuff. Gates is getting the majority of the carries. I think it's one of those things where I think the Pizzettis feel Gates has the hot hand, so just keep feeding him the ball. Not that Tyler Johnson's doing anything wrong, but he's it shows what a team player Tyler Johnson is. He's not getting the ball. We've seen him block tonight, seen him play the decoy. So you got to give Tyler Johnson a lot of credit for this offense working because he's playing his part as a decoy too.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for Ankeny Centennial. They use their final timeout of the first half, leading 28-14 with 52 seconds left. It's been certainly a game of big plays. This has been a fun one here tonight, Adam.
Yeah, it's every time you think Ankeny's just going to pull away, the Centennial Jaguars and pull away and run away with the game. Fort Dodge has an answer with the kick return with the nice drive they had last series. But at some point, if the Dodgers want to get in this game, they have to make a stop.
Final instructions out there near the 25-yard line from Ankeny Centennial, the offensive staff.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a big blitz out of the Dodgers here. Just try to make something happen because you can't just let them pick you apart here.
52 seconds left, plenty of time for Centennial. And they can do, even with no timeouts, pretty much whatever they want. One wide receiver flanked out to the right side as a man comes in motion. Gates this time to the right side, cuts back at the 5, still on his feet, spins into the end zone, touchdown, Ankeny Centennial. Avery Gates, he's got 5 touchdowns tonight.
Well, it's not too often you see offense go in kind of a hurry-up 2-minute mode and run the football, but not a lot of offenses have a weapon like Avery Gates, and he's, anytime you can reel off the amount of yardage he can in a carry, why not give it to him?
Touchdown runs of 44, 2, 75, 67, and now 9 on the night, 34-14 with 46 seconds left as Page comes on to attempt the extra point.
I think what the Centennial staff has picked up, every time you see Johnson or one of the slot backs go in motion, the Dodgers will bring that outside linebacker or safety with that motion. They're just running a counter play back to Avery Gates, and it's been open all night. So, expect him to keep doing that if the Dodgers are going to give it to him.
46 seconds left as We'll keep it right here, waiting for that kickoff. Fort Dodge certainly going to try to look for the big return. They've had a couple of good returns, including their first return of the night, 90 yards for a touchdown. That tied it up at 7. Also used the fake reverse a little bit earlier. You dig a little bit deeper in that bag of tricks.
Try to get as much as you can out of this. With the quarterback and the receivers that you have, your main offense is a hurry-up, spread, no huddle, 5-wide offense. So 46 seconds, not a ton of time, but if they can get a decent return here, make a couple big plays, they can put themselves in scoring position, no question.
Kickoff coming from the 40-yard line for Ankeny Centennial. The kickoff man, Cole Vincent, senior, 6'1", 165. As he puts a right foot to it, a squib kick, end over end. That ball still free before it's finally picked up at the 12-yard line. Now looking to bounce to the outside. It's Schreier. Gets out to the left, tries to cut back, loses the football. Ball is out. Ankeny Centennial says they have it, and they do. Backbreaker there.
That's a backbreaker, trying to make a play. Did one of those, I don't even know if somebody picked it up. He just kind of lifted the ball up over defender and just might have got it poked out or just flat out dropped it. But, you can't fault the kid for trying to make a play. Be interesting to see if Centennial goes right for the dagger here. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to go to D'Angelo, the big tight end, when they needed it last week. They went for a big play. Number 97, look for him here, right, coming out of the huddle.
No timeouts left for Ankeny Centennial, looking to build on a 35-14 lead, 36 seconds to go. And we got a whistle and a timeout. Fort Dodge is going to take it. We'll come back on the other side with more high school football on CISN.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
36 seconds left in the first half. Ankeny Centennial a 35-14 lead over Fort Dodge. Trent Condon and Adam Benz here with you in the beautiful new press box at Ankeny Centennial. Second year of full use out of the press box.
Feels warm in here, and I was just talking to Trent, looking across the way at the old press box. Looks like he had to sit outside. So
I did, yeah.
I am thankful we're inside, nice and warm. So great job to the Ankeny Athletics here and getting this press box built.
No doubt, yeah. They put me out on the stage for many radio broadcasts back in the day, but we're nice and cozy up here. And a big thank you to everybody with the Ankeny Schools, Centennial and Ankeny High. Gibson looking to throw. Pressure comes up the middle. He rolls out to the right. He's got a man wide open. It is cut. Touchdown, Ankeny Centennial. That time, Tyler Johnson snuck out of the backfield.
Well, Johnson getting reward for all his hard work tonight. He's been kind of running as a decoy. Came in as a leading rusher, like we said earlier. We've seen him block on a couple touchdown runs. Actually, Dylan D'Angelo looked like to be the primary target. The Dodgers did a great job covering him. Johnson started blocking on that and just leaked out of the backfield. Great job by Gibson keeping his head up and finding Johnson for the touchdown.
41-14 and a high
and you can't fault the Dodger defense for that one because Johnson started out blocking, just kind of leaked out, kind of a broken play type of thing. Again, initially, we talked about it before the timeout. Wouldn't be surprised if they looked for Dylan D'Angelo, exactly what they were looking for. But, again, Tyler Johnson getting rewarded for his hard work blocking tonight, being the decoy, and just made a fantastic play there.
You know, it was 28-14 after the Fort Dodge touchdown pass. With a couple minutes left, just over 2 minutes left, and we were talking Fort Dodge gets a stop. They get the football to start the half, and we got a ball game. All of a sudden, a touchdown out of Centennial, a touchdown, a fumble, and then the touchdown pass here, and the blowout's on.
That fumble was a backbreaker there for Fort Dodge. Set Ankeny up with nice field position. We see the Mike Fontana and the Ankeny assistants down there having a good time right now. But I don't think with this offense you can count Fort Dodge out yet. They got a big-time quarterback, big-time receiver. Certainly feels like Centennial's in control, but wouldn't get too comfortable yet. Got a lot of football to play, and it'll be interesting to see what Matt Miller and the staff wants to do. They're going to try to put something on the board. They're going to be content going down 20 at half and try to regroup.
Kickoff from Vincent, an end-over-end kick. Goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That'll be a penalty. And so the procedure penalty will give a good field position for Fort Dodge.
Yeah, Kershaw almost grabbed it, decided otherwise. It'll give him some good field position. So I think, maybe they got some decent field position, which honestly, Fort Dodge has had solid field position all night. It's had some costly mistakes. But, the last time they had good field position, they drove it down there and scored. So I think with the quarterback you have, the receiver you have, maybe try to see if you can muster up a few yards here and then put yourself in position for a Hail Mary or something. You got nothing to lose at this point.
A couple of timeouts left in the back pocket for Fort Dodge as they come out on the field for receiver look. Twin receivers on each side from the right hash at the 35-yard line of Fort Dodge. Dodgers trailing Ankeny Centennial 42-14. They'll just run it up the middle, not much room there. On a nice tackle there from Jaden Cooper.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Miller's going to be content with possibly not trying to go into halftime with any more damage than he has, giving the ball to Clayton there. I believe that is the son of Fort Dodge legend Alonzo Clayton, if I'm not mistaken. But they haven't been able to get anything going with Clayton at all tonight, with just being down so much.
And that'll do it for the first half. Ankeny Centennial, a 42-14 lead over Fort Dodge as we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, we'll be talking to Ankeny Centennial boys basketball coach Bob Fontana. He's set to join us coming up on the other side. Also, Dan Holm from Ankeny Fanatic. He'll be dropping in, and we'll be talking with him here at the half. Ankeny Centennial 42, Fort Dodge 14, as we come back on CISN.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
Back with you at the half. Ankeny Centennial, a big 42-14 lead over Fort Dodge here on CISN. Trent Condon joined at the half, boys basketball coach at Ankeny Centennial, Bob Fontana. Bob, good to see you again. And basketball, feels like basketball weather out there.
Yeah, it sure does. Nice to be here, Trent.
Good to talk to you as always. So you made your way over from, the Cedar Rapids area 6 years ago now, is that right?
Yeah, this will be going on year 7.
Year number 7. A lot of great basketball, certainly played through the Jaguars, and you came over right after the split of high schools. It's so far in the rearview mirror for a lot of people, it's not a conversation. I'm sure most of the kids now getting into high school really don't even remember it just being one big school.
Yeah, they do, but they don't talk about it like they used to the first few years.
Yeah. And probably a good thing with that.
Yeah.
Everybody getting their own identity, and just as a whole, it's been a great thing for the community and great thing for the kids. So many opportunities for both sides of the rivalry.
Well, yeah, I think it presents a lot more opportunities, and you'd like to think it's a friendly rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes it gets a little heated, but it's I was used to that in Cedar Rapids, so.
And here we are. Well, Bob, look forward to this year's basketball team. You returned some talent from last year. See a few of those guys out there on the football field right now. First, before we kind of get into the team, talk about that. We hear so much about specialization in sports and kids deciding very early on, when they're still even in elementary school, that they're just going to concentrate on one sport. What your theory is and what you like to see out of your players, not just playing basketball, but the other sports too.
Well, yeah, I don't like kids making decisions until they've gotten through their freshman year at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to participate in as many things as they possibly can for as long as they can. And then once they find their niche, maybe they focus on that sport, but there's no reason why they still can't play one or two other sports as well.
So you got a group of big guys coming back next year. You guys are going to be big. You're going to be going double posts this year, playing a couple of bigs out there together?
Yeah, we'll have two bigs in. There might be times you might see us with three bigs with Johnson and McCullough and Peterson, who's out on the football field tonight.
And Carter Keston, he was a part of things last year too.
Yep.
A lot of height, but still, basketball, you need guards. So tell us about some of those new names. Garrett Seversaiki, who we saw the last couple of years. He graduated after last year. Tell us about some of the guys you're looking at the guard position.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of guards we're looking at. From last year's team, Cameron Francis and Caleb Van Meter got some minutes off the bench. And then Preston Kelling was like a two-guard for us. He's back. And then we had a transfer come in, Jerron Cruz, who's a really solid point guard. So that'll help us a lot as well.
Van Meter, lefty shooter, right? Am I thinking?
No, he's right-handed.
Right-handed?
Yeah.
My memory is failing
his
me.
older brother was left-handed.
That's what it was. See, I'm not as crazy as I thought there. I heard the Van Meter name and the image popped into my head. Well, as you look at Central Iowa this year and kind of scouting things, looking forward, who else do you expect to be up there towards the top of the CIML?
Well, I tell you what, I'm not into rankings and all that, but some guy came out with Prep Hoops with his too early preseason top 10, and he had 4 teams in the top 10 just out of our division in the CIML. And then throw in there Valley and Waukee, who both have 2 Division I players. And then, North is athletic, and Hoover and Ames will still be solid. They lost Lipsy, which was a huge blow. If he was healthy, there'd probably be 5 teams in our division looking at the top 10. So, I mean, it's going to be a fan's delight and a coach's nightmare every night out.
Yeah. And that's something, it doesn't matter what sport we talk about here in the CIML, but it's every single sport, just how good it is, the number of good teams. And, you come from Eastern Iowa. I grew up in Eastern Iowa. I know that divide, and I think sometimes those people on the other side of the state just don't realize what a grind it is. Boys basketball, baseball, girls basketball. Yeah. What was it, 2 years ago, 7 of the 8 teams in the 5A field in the state tournament were from the CIML.
Right.
Just night in and night out, how you have to be ready to go.
Well, yeah, if you're fortunate enough to stay healthy and get to the state tournament, you have to be in the right sub-state.
Yeah.
You look at our league with 18 teams, only 3 of us can get to the state tournament, where over the Mississippi Valley, they've expanded to 14 teams now, but they potentially could get 4 teams out of their league, 4 out of 14 versus 3 out of 18. It doesn't seem quite right, but that's how they do it. But if you do get there, you're definitely battle-tested.
No doubt, and we've seen a lot of great basketball that's been played. That's something that's always been a conversation when you get to the state tournament. What does it truly want? And I've had people in Boone tell me they want it to be a state tournament. They're not looking to get the 8 best teams there. They want a representation of a state tournament. The girls' side looks at it a little bit different. They want to have the best 8 teams in each class make it there. I guess it's a different way to look at it, but when you're kind of in the middle of it and then you look at your sub-state draw some years and you say, boy, I kind of wish it'd be the other way.
Well, yeah, and I've been on both sides of the state. I've been in situations. One year at Kennedy, us, Linn-Mar, and Cedar Rapids Jefferson were all ranked in the top 8 in the state, and we're all in the same sub-state. Our second year here, us and Hoover had the 2 best records on the entire western half of the state. We're in the same sub-state. So I wish they would, I know they want a true state tournament, but I think fan interest might be a little higher if you did get the 8 best teams there.
Yeah.
So
there's other theories out there, too. I know there was some talk for a while of maybe kind of expanding what sub-state is and only having 4 teams then make it to the state tournament, where maybe sub-state becomes a 2 or 3 day event, something like that, and then just 4 teams in each class make it to the state tournament and kind of tighten that up a little bit. Do you like that idea at all?
Well, I would think it'd be worth looking at. What I wish they would do, and the guys in Boone do a great job. And you know what? I don't care which way they do it. No, you're not going to have everybody happy. But I like what they're doing with football, where they seed them 1 through 16.
Yeah.
I would love if they would do that with basketball, just to see what it looks like.
And another thing, sometimes those sub-states come out so early, just not the pairings, but the teams that are put in there, where you don't have a great feel. I mean, there's so many teams like you guys here. You got a bunch of guys playing football, and maybe there's an injury, something like that. I know Dowling's dealt with that in Valley a lot in the past, and you got kids that aren't in basketball shape yet you're kind of determining who's going to have the right path to get to the state tournament.
Well, yeah, and when they put together the sub-states, there's been years where maybe a team, say, has no losses or 1 loss, and after the sub-states are formed, they might end up with 3 or 4 more losses because all the heavy hitters are at the end of their schedule.
Yeah.
Where last year and again this year, our schedule is brutal in the first 8 to 10 games. And so you just try to keep your head above water.
Well, going to be a great season. So expectations for you guys last year, you took a step back a year ago. I know expectations are always big at Ankeny Centennial, but where do you think you're going to be this year?
Well, number one, we have to be healthy. That's going to be a key. In the off season, I really liked our guys' team chemistry. They really get along with each other on the floor and off the floor. And, our guard play has improved a little bit. For us, it's going to come down to making shots and making free throws. And then we got to be solid on the defensive end as well.
Well, you guys are pretty much always that.
Well, we try to be.
You don't let many people out there if they're not going to play a little defense. Tell you what, Bob, I never would have been able to play for you. I would have been great back in the old 6-on-6 girls days and just play offense. That's all I wanted to do. Never on that defensive end. Love watching your basketball teams. Great catching up with you again. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it, Trent. Take care.
That's Bob Fontana, the head coach for the Ankeny Centennial basketball team. We'll take another break. Coming back at the half, 42-14 Centennial with the lead over Fort Dodge on CISN.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here.
Hey,
welcome back,
Dan,
Coach.
how you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. Here you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
The Fletcher in Ankeny. Words cannot even begin to describe our Sunday brunch. You won't find a better Sunday brunch than what's being prepared for you. Try it this Sunday. The Fletcher, North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
High-quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. Hy-Vee Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
You don't have to go to Hy-Vee Market Grill to get Hy-Vee Market Grill. Now get Hy-Vee Market Grill delivered. Choose from the best burgers in town, delicious steaks, seafood, appetizers. There's nothing mini about the Hy-Vee Market Grill menu, and it's all delivered to your door. Save time and save the day, or at least dinner. Just order on the Hy-Vee Market Grill app. Hy-Vee Market Grill. We deliver delicious.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Trent Condon and Adam Benz back with you here from Northview Middle School, Ankeny Field. Great night of football here on a chilly one as Ankeny Centennials raced out to a 42-14 halftime lead. Adam, well, a couple opportunities there overall for Fort Dodge, but Centennial too much throughout the first half.
Yeah, they've not been able to stop the Jaguars, and when they've made the mistakes, Fort Dodge that is, with the turnovers and the fumbles and things like that, Centennial certainly capitalized on that, made them pay for it. Really critical for Fort Dodge to come out here and get something going. Pretty much need to score here, open up the half when they get the ball to even have a shot at this game. Matt Miller's team will continue to fight, continue to claw. Still got to remember this is one of the toughest districts in the state, kind of fighting for pride at this point. And, trying to make that score look respectable to keep their RPI ranking up there.
Avery Gates tonight has 197 yards on just his touchdown runs.
Just the touchdown runs?
That's not including what he's done when he wasn't running for touchdowns, and he had a few big runs in there, too.
Well, he came in with 286 on the night, so he's almost he's getting close to that mark, probably.
Yes.
He only came in with 3 TDs. I think he's at 5. Is that correct?
He's at 5, yeah.
But, again, you got to just give props to the Ankeny staff. They definitely saw something on film. They've been running that slot back motion on that wing T formation, and Fort Dodge's been shifting with the motion. They run the counters back to Avery Gates. I would, if it's not broken, why try to fix it? I expect a lot of that the second half. Then at some point, if Centennial does pull away, you're probably going to set the guys like Avery Gates, Johnson, some of your horses to get ready for next week.
It has been just a dominating performance from him, and Ankeny Centennials played well. Gibson had a little time. He's made a couple of strong throws out there. It's been certainly a great night for Ankeny Centennial. We'll take our final timeout, coming back with the second half kickoff on the other side. 42-14 our halftime score. Ankeny Centennial over Fort Dodge. You're watching high school football on CISN.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Adam Benz back with you as we get ready for the start of the second half. Ankeny Centennial and Fort Dodge in our Central Iowa game of the week. Anticipated this had a chance to be a good one. Fort Dodge just couldn't get any stops defensively, made plays, had the kick return, had that beautiful drive, including a nice touchdown pass as Thorson hit Tyson Kershaw, but just not enough on the defensive end.
Yeah, the miscues have certainly cost them, but at some point, if you're going to be a playoff caliber team, championship caliber team, you got to make some stops on the defensive side of the ball. They haven't been able to do that. But like we said earlier, it's critical they get something going here on offense. The weather conditions aren't ideal. A little bit of wind out there. Certainly the coldest game of the year. Really, that's probably playing in Centennial's hand as they like to run the ball. And, Fort Dodge going to that 5-wide spread set has certainly affected their offense.
So 12 minutes put up on the clock as we play the third period. Fort Dodge will receive the opening kickoff, and they've been able to do a few things in the return game, including Tyler Schreier returning a kick 90 yards. He'll grab it at the 4-yard line, looking to bounce out to the left side as he speeds forward to the 20, 25, bounces out 30, 31-yard line. And this is something that is going to be a big conversation piece, certainly, for the staff of Centennial this week.
Yeah, a shoestring tackle there, and if he doesn't get tackled there, he's going to have at least 25 more yards, if not break at the distance. But I got to credit the return team there for Fort Dodge. They're doing a great job of just getting in front of their guys and turning them the way they want them to go. A lot of times on kickoff returns, you see a lot of penalties, and the Fort Dodge kids have been doing a great job throwing blocks for the return guys.
11:51 left, starting from the 31-yard line is Fort Dodge, moving left to right as they set up a wide receiver screen, trying to spin to the middle, going to lose yards there. Found Tyson Kershaw, but Ankeny Centennial showing their speed on defense.
Yeah, they're doing a great job with the open field tackles. Jackson Huber there just came up. It's not a lot of hitting going on in football in these days at the NFL, college level, and it's certainly trickled down the high school ranks. Back when we played, it was line up every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, smash, 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 just for the safety part and injuries. You don't do that anymore. And so tackling gets a little bit lost, but great job there by Jackson Huber making a fantastic open field tackle.
It'll be 2nd down and 12 from the 29 for Fort Dodge. Thorson taking a shot up the left sideline. It is incomplete, knocked away at the last moment. Good coverage out there by Nick Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley was on him. I don't know if Shirley really knew where the ball was. Right receiver certainly had to had a chance to make the play, and a really good ball there by Thorson. Put it right on the money.
He gave his receiver an opportunity to try to catch it. Not able to come down. It'll be
a little confusion here by the Jaguars defense. Who's supposed to be in, who's supposed to be out.
Yeah, late substitution in Ethan Frazier. He had a sack earlier in the game, playing that middle position of the defensive line. 4 down linemen for the Jaguars. The receivers right for Fort Dodge. Pressure comes, trying to get out, but brought down for the sack. Lucas Piper gets into the stat book.
Yeah, run a little kind of a twist deal there where they brought the defensive end down hard inside, and number 55, the gentleman you just talked about, was looping around the outside. He had contained. And it's a line game that's worked well for Centennial Light. They just keep running what's working.
It'll be 4th down, and Thorson, the quarterback, also the punter, works on a rugby-style kick. He knuckles this one. It's just near midfield. Will take a Fort Dodge bounce to the 44-yard line. Ankeny Centennial will get the football for the first time from there. Now Centennial leads by 28, and rule that was implemented now, 12, 15 years ago, the continuous clock rule after it gets to 35 as opposed to the old 50-point rule. Something that I certainly like. You're able to play the full 48 minutes here, but also slow down some of the scoring sometimes.
Yeah,
too.
Get some kids in that you want to do, but doesn't get too much out of hand. Expect Centennial to just keep pounding the ball here. And then probably after this point, maybe set some of the guys, get them healthy for next week, and not risk any injury going forward.
Run to the left side. as Avery Gates gets a couple. He has had a big night, well over 200 yards on the evening. Mentioned 197 just on his touchdown runs.
Well, Tyler Nichols, their linebacker, stepped up and made a great stick on his offensive guard, and that's what Coach Matt Miller wanted from these linebackers to get go with Nichols and then those guys just to be tough. Fort Dodge going to a 4-man line now, it looks like.
As Tyler Johnson takes the carry out past midfield, right near the first down marker. Ankeny Centennial, their first drive of the first half, and they get rolling right away. Slow to get up off the turf for Fort Dodge. Dalton Summers.
We see Johnson run through a couple arm tackles. He's not going to have that second gear, that game-breaking speed that Avery Gates has, but he is certainly a tough runner, and an arm tackle is not going to bring Tyler Johnson down.
42-14, Ankeny Centennial leading Fort Dodge as we approach 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. 3rd down and 1, pressure up the gut as they hand it to the outside. They get it out to Trey Porter. Porter got the corner and the first down all the way to the 40-yard line.
Dodgers certainly changing things up here. They're going more of a 4-man line, run the A-gap blitzer. It was wide open, just need the defensive end to keep contained there, and they would have had a big play.
So we see Porter on the carry for Ankeny Centennial. Porter on the year hasn't carried the football much, just 7 attempts coming in.
Well, at this point, if you can get things done without Avery Gates, really no sense in getting him dinged up or injured at this point, because going forward into the playoffs, certainly Centennial looks like they're well on their way. You're definitely going to need Avery Gates in the future.
Gates gets it on the left side to the 30. 28-yard line, a first down run for Avery Gates as he continues on his historic night. 5 touchdowns already. It's got to be approaching 300 yards now.
I think he's probably a candidate for player of the game. What do you think, Trent?
Certainly the forefront of that conversation at this point. Trying to search on Twitter and see if any stats pop up for him and what he has done this evening.
Well, he's certainly been the workhorse.
He was over 300 at the half.
At
he
the
had
half.
309. As running the left side is Gibson.
Well, coming in the game, he had 286, so he clipped his season mark. But we said it earlier before, Coach Matt Miller knew that stopping Avery Gates was going to be critical for them. Just a fantastic athlete. Plays baseball here at Centennial. Heck of a track runner. You had coach in here at halftime, says he has him in class and a great kid, so that's what you like to see, getting done in the classroom and on the field. And I think it's kind of a product. Centennial must have saw something on film. Where they could run some of this wing T stuff, man blocking schemes as opposed to some zone blocking, and they're certainly getting it done up front tonight.
Gibson looking to throw, pump fakes, now rolls out to the right. Still looking upfield. He'll fire, tapped away. Good play defensively for Fort Dodge, knocking that away. Halligan.
Yeah, Halligan. Good thing he knocked that down because the receiver is wide open. Nobody covered him. Halligan got his hand in the passing lane. If he doesn't knock that down, it's probably an easy completion and a first down for the Jags.
Ankeny Centennial had 401 yards of total offense in the first half, 332 on the ground, and Avery Gates 17 carries for 309 and 5 touchdowns in the first half.
Well, as a head football coach or an offensive coordinator, you can't draw it up any better.
No.
400 yards in the first half, and with all those rushing yards, and certainly what the Pizzettis like to do is run the ball, so they'll take that all day long.
Here's Gibson rolling out to the right, got a man in the middle, complete, had the first down for a moment, then took a step back. Keaton
I think
Gray.
he's got it now, yeah.
So had the first, lost the first, then gets it back. First down, Ankeny Centennial.
Yeah, good effort trying to make a play there. And a little bit of pressure by Fort Dodge in the pass rush. Again, if their defensive end stayed home, they may have get a sack there. But, Gibson showing when he's needing to make a play like we saw last week, driving down to make that critical drive on the field goal, making plays. He can get it done when he has to.
6:45 clock in, third quarter, 42-14. Ankeny Centennial leading Fort Dodge. Jaguars on the move inside the 20-yard line into the red zone. As Gibson on the zone read, keeps it, runs up the middle, fights forward for about 4. Hayes Gibson, the senior quarterback for Ankeny Centennial. Good athletic kid out there, good solid base to him.
Yeah, good. Just a good leader. You can see that. He's Hasn't got a lot of stats coming in, but a great game manager. You're not going to have a lot of stats as a quarterback in this offense if you run the ball the way they have been. But certainly, like again, can't stress enough that when it was time for him to make critical plays last week in the last drive of the game, he made them, and on 3rd and long here, he's made some nice throws.
2nd and 7 for the Jags as they flip it out complete to Gates. Gates spins through a tackle, still on his feet inside the 10-yard line.
Well, looks like they had him for nothing. Guy spun him around, showing great athletic ability there, crouching down, using his hands just to keep that balance. Didn't touch a knee, didn't touch an elbow, so still a live ball carrier and got another 5 yards.
1st down and goal, Ankeny Centennial, 5:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Looking to build on a 28-point lead. Hayes Gibson, the quarterback, brings the offense out from the huddle. Extra tight end here, that's Michael Witt wearing number 8.
They don't have high school fantasy football, but if you did, you'd want Avery Gates in your team tonight because he's going to go in. Nope.
That's up the middle to Johnson. He'll be just short.
Had me fooled there. I thought Gates was going in for a 6th touchdown as he carried out a great fake. But that shows you up 28 points. Guy has over 300 yards rushing on the game. Certainly fooled me, fooled a couple guys on the defense. It shows what a team player he is, and he's doing his job no matter what the score is.
Clock goes inside of 5 minutes as Ankeny Centennial has it at the 1-yard line. Gibson under center. He's going to sneak it forward, try to get the score, and he does. Ankeny Centennial, it's pay dirt first here in the 2nd half. They lead it 48-14.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing the Jaguars sub some guys in now at this point. Game certainly looks to be in their favor. Really no reason to get Hayes, Gibson, Johnson, Avery Gates, these guys injured. I think the Jaguars have some lofty goals going down the road. Tonight they certainly look like a contender with their only loss being to Dowling, I believe, on the year. Is that correct? So, and the thing about this win, or what looks like going to be a win, not over yet, but Fort Dodge is not a bad football team. No slouch. But the Jaguars have just, certainly answered the bell tonight. And from what I've seen, you got to believe that they're a bona fide contender.
4:47 left, 49-14. And now it will be continuous clock. This kickoff will get us started here with 4:47 left. So this certainly could change how quickly things will end in a cold night. Fort Dodge, even with that, I think there's plenty of building blocks here. They got Marshalltown still on deck, still a chance to be a playoff team. They got to be perfect now.
Yeah,
but
really,
this isn't, even though you're down 49-14, not as devastating maybe as it could be.
No, the score looks a lot worse than it is. Like I said, at one point it was 28-14. All Fort Dodge has to do is get a score going in the half, and they get the ball back. Had the fumble on the kickoff return. That was certainly a backbreaker. Going back up there, taking that road trip home on Highway 20 back to Fort Dodge.
Oh, hits off the up back, and Ankeny Centennial falls on it.
Well, I'm not sure if that was intended or not.
I don't think
it was. Really, what the Jaguars have been doing after that kickoff return, trying to get some bouncing kicks. Kind of heartbreaking there for the Dodgers. Certainly nothing that the young man up front there did wrong. He was turning to go block his guy, but big break for the Jaguars. Defensive guys probably a little disappointed they don't get out there and play defense, but we'll see what the Jaguars do here, if they keep their offensive in or start subbing some guys in.
I'll see Hayes Gibson. He's coming back out onto the field.
Don't see Gates. Johnson's still out there. Gates might be done for the night.
Yeah, his evening could be over running that slot position. Trey Porter had a carry earlier here in the half. As he goes in motion, they'll give it to Porter up the right side, cuts back at the 45-40. And brought down there. Nice carry of 6 on first down for Trey Porter.
Obviously, Gates has had a big night tonight, but probably haven't said enough about the Jaguars' offensive line. I've noticed the last few series is when they're getting off the ball, they're knocking the defensive line of the Dodgers back, certainly moving their feet. It is a lot easier as an offensive lineman to have fun, keep those feet moving when you have a back there making things happen. So those guys are having a lot of fun. Let's give that offensive line of the Jaguars a lot of credit.
Clock running, 3:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. 49-14, all Ankeny Centennials. They've run away from Fort Dodge. Gibson with the man in motion. We got a whistle, though. And we will check down on the field for that. And it's offsides against the defense. And certainly you would expect a tired Fort Dodge defense.
Yeah.
They've been on the field. Ankeny Centennial, that big offensive line's been leaning on them.
Yeah, they've been out there a lot and come back. Certainly weren't, after giving up that last touchdown, weren't expecting to come out there out there right away again. Just probably kind of having a little brain freeze out there, line up in the neutral zone.
So 1st and 10 for Ankeny Centennial. They're at the Fort Dodge 35-yard line. Got the football back after an unattended onside kick. Here's a run up the gut. Looked like Johnson on the carry for 4.
And I don't want to take anything away from the Fort Dodge defense. I think those kids are playing hard. The linebackers really look legit out there.
Yep.
Guys flying around, running around. I think it's just schematically the Jaguars are doing a great job in their blocking schemes, taking good angles, pulling on the counter plays, more of a man blocking scheme than maybe we're used to in this day and age with all the zone stuff and the shotgun stuff. So give credit to the Jaguars offensive staff, but I also give credit to those Dodgers for playing hard out there. Those guys are really giving it their all. So, we'll see if these linebackers are still out there playing hard. Again, going back to more of a 4-man line. They have slowed down the Jaguars a little bit by going to that 4-man line. And there you go, nice play. Believe that 41, Austin Lee again.
Tyler Johnson on the run there. Lost a couple. It'll be 3rd and long for Ankeny Centennial. Austin Lee, he's been good out there. Egley's played at a high level. Tyler Nichols, he left a little bit earlier with an injury, but he was making some plays. Just that Fort Dodge defense has been on the field so much.
Yeah.
And the offensive line for Centennial, boy, they got some big dudes out there.
They got big guys, and they just keep their feet moving. One thing on the running game, it's really kind of a battle of wills. Who doesn't keep their running game? And here comes the counter play.
Goes to the left side, out to the 25, 23.
And for as big as they are, the Jaguars do a great job of pulling. Their guys move very well. You talk about how big they are, but you don't see a lot of sloppy, big, fat guys out there. It's almost like a small college a line out there, and certainly the Jaguars offensive coaching staff has those guys playing at a high level.
Mark Loyola with the carry and the first down to the 23-yard line for Centennial. Loyola senior, 5'8", 152, getting some carries in the second half. 30 seconds left in the third as they go out with that speed sweep to the outside with Trey Porter. Jet sweep and bumped out of bounds near the first down marker, just short of the first down, a gain of 8 for Porter.
And Trey Porter, only a sophomore, seems to be the heir apparent to Avery Gates. Maybe not quite as fast as Avery right now yet, but as a sophomore, getting some experience here, and I'm sure he'll get coached up and be working to get to his level.
3 quarters in the books. Ankeny Centennial 49-14 over Fort Dodge as we come back on CISN.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Trent Condon and Adam Benz back with you high atop here in Ankeny, looking down at a dominating performance from Ankeny Centennial. They lead at 49-14 as we start the fourth quarter. Continuous clock here after a big night for Avery Gates, over 300 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns in the first half. Third down run to the right side, not much room that time, and the Dodger defense gets the stop. It'll be fourth down.
Dodgers have certainly tightened it up here on defense, going more of a four-man line, bringing a little bit of pressure with their linebackers. Obviously expecting the run, so they're tightening things up a little bit, but give credit that, again, that Centennial offensive line. And then Carter Kester had the big catch last week against Southeast Polk, but he is doing a heck of a job out there blocking too. A lot of times the tight ends don't get credit for the work they do in the blocking game.
4th and 3, Centennial going to go for it as Porter goes in motion. He gets the football, tries to bounce to the outside, get the corner. He does. First down and more, cuts back in, brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Porter looks like a good replacement for Avery Gates. Again, only a sophomore. Got 2 more years of him, and I'm sure Coach Pizzetti's happy with that.
Going to keep Coach Pizzetti around for at least a couple more years. Got a guy like that.
Absolutely.
So first down and goal for Ankeny Centennial as the clock ticks towards 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, 49-14. Jaguars lead it over the Dodgers. It was 28-14 late in the first half.
Appears the Jags are shuffling a few guys in and out here from the receiver spots and their slot positions.
As they put Porter in motion, they'll go up the middle. Not much running room there. Still pounding the feet forward, but brought down for a loss.
I believe that was 21 Austin Jones, it looks like.
It was the junior, 5'10", 165 yards. Jones trying to get his way into the touchdown column. He does have a scorer this year, 6-yarder. On his 5 carries coming into play tonight. 2nd and goal from the 3 for Ankeny Centennial. 9:25 left in the fourth quarter. Porter in motion, he'll get it. Second man through as he slips over the defender. Ball came out.
I think the runner was down there blowing him dead, but ball did squirt down. Squirt out there. Credit the Dodgers for playing hard here. It was kind of playing for a little bit of pride here to see if they can keep him out of the end zone. Ball is literally about 3 inches away, it appears, from our vantage point. Earlier on, they just did the QB sneak, see if they run Gibson on that again.
3rd down and 1. Go that direction. Give it to one of your backup running backs as they're going deep into the well here. They'll hand it off into the left side and in for the touchdown, Ankeny Centennial. Mark Loyola with the score, the senior, in for 6. 3rd touchdown of the year for Mark Loyola.
Yeah, I give him. I'm sure as a senior, has been working hard in the program for the last 3 to 4 years for Coach Pizzetti. So reward him for his efforts there.
1-yard TD run as Page will come on to attempt another extra point. Snap back, kick on its way, and it is good. 56-14, 8:38 to play in the fourth quarter as we come back on CISN.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
High quality beef doesn't have to come with a high price. High Beat Angus Reserve. It's 100% natural, hand-selected, pure quality beef. The cuts are tender and the price is lean. We choose our beef knowing what will deliver the best flavor and most tenderness. So now, going out for a great steak can be as simple as going out to your grill. High-beat Angus Reserve. Dinner out just became dinner in.
8:38 left in the fourth quarter. Ankeny Centennial, a 56-14 lead over Fort Dodge. Whistles continue to blow.
We had the ball blew off the tee. Looks like they had some things blowing on the field there. The wind is certainly picked up, been a factor here in the second half. Another short kickoff.
Daniel picks it up at his 25-yard line, gets to the outside and bumped out near the 35. That's where Fort Dodge will get the football.
We've played a quarter and nearly a whole nother quarter, and the Fort Dodge offense hasn't been on the field yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see it. See what the weapons of Fort Dodge can put one in here, just to save a little pride.
Clock runs as we're in continuous clock territory. Approaching the 8-minute mark as the offense comes out with Thorson. 3 receivers left for him and 1 out to the right. Check that 2 to the right. 1 was covered up. Here's 1 across the middle, complete. And again, Tyson Kershaw. What a good-looking player. He said he's on his way to South Dakota.
Yes, Kershaw is going to South Dakota. Thorson, the quarterback, has been asked as a preferred walk-on at Iowa State. I think he's exploring some other options, it sounds like, from coach. But South Dakota is certainly getting a good one there in Kershaw.
Yeah.
And you can see why Iowa State would like Thorson as an athlete. Heck of a baller, nice spiral. Yep. May not want some of the things they want in a Division I quarterback, but plays free safety for them. I could see him maybe playing as an outside linebacker, strong safety type at the next level for sure.
1st and 10 after the completion for Thorson. He's looking again, going to take a shot up the field, coming back for the ball, but tipped away at the last moment and incomplete. Out in coverage for Centennial, Mason Yegi.
Another great ball by Thorson. I'd like to see his receiver maybe fight for the ball, go get it a little bit more. Definitely a difference between Kershaw and some of the other receivers. Kershaw goes up and gets it, uses his hands. Of course, it's probably tough to get motivated at this point in the game, down so much, but Dodgers still competing here. Putting the ball up and trying to get in the plans of their playmakers.
Empty set again for Fort Dodge. 2 right, 3 receivers left as Thorson works from the shotgun. 6.5 to play in the fourth. Pressure comes. He steps up, looking to run. Spins through a tackle all the way out to the 45. Good hard run of 7.
Yeah, kind of made that something out of nothing there on his own. Could have easily went down on the first contact, spun around, got a couple extra yards. So nice competitive spirit there out of Thorson. That's what we like to see.
As we approach the halfway mark of the fourth quarter, in for Fort Dodge, John Presswood, the fullback, sophomore, 5'10", 190-pounder.
I do like what I like out of the Fort Dodge staff. It seems like they move Kershaw around a little bit. Don't just keep him on the same side, which is sometimes happens a lot at the high school level. We just don't get creative. They're doing a good job with Kershaw moving him around and trying to get him the ball, but the Yankee defense is just expecting it and doing a great job keeping Thorson in the pocket.
Lucas Pieper on the pressure there as quarterback Thorson was rolling out to his right, ran out of room and pushed out of bounds. So it'll be 4th down for Fort Dodge with 5:20 to play.
Jags haven't done anything too crazy on defense tonight. A lot of cover 2, cover 3 looks. I think they ran a couple, blitzes on 3rd down situations, but they're playing it pretty close to the vest. Not showing a lot on tape, but they've been played very disciplined across the board on defense.
Quick pitch out to the right, spinning through a tackle and getting the 1st down. Nice play there for Dason Clayton, and we haven't said his name much tonight.
Yeah, I just think part of it has been just the way the game has gone. Got down early, haven't been able to feed him the ball, but that was a heck of an effort there by Clayton. If he could, excuse me.
And check that was actually John Presswood. We haven't seen Clayton. Don't know if there's an injury, something like that. We've seen a lot of Presswood out there and haven't seen Clayton, the leading rusher for Fort Dodge.
Yeah, he had a carry early on. Like you said, maybe there was an injury or something that we don't know about.
As Thorson pump fakes and runs out near the 30-yard line to the 32 as he's brought down after a gain of 8.
And you look across the board at all these Fort Dodge weapons that they have at the receiver spot, and you saw the young man that returned the kickoff and things like that. You got to give some credit to the secondary of the Centennial Jaguars. Not have been a lot of guys running free down the field. I look at Thorson trying to make a big play downfield, and every time he's looked deep, it's been covered well by the Jags.
Timeout on the field with 4:18 left. We'll take a quick one with them. 56-14, Ankeny Centennial over Fort Dodge.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
It's Truck Month at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $15,000 off new 19 Silverado HDs. Up to $11,000 off new 19 Silverado 1500 Crew LTZs. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. Up to $7,000 off new 19 Equinox. Truck Month in Waukee, including up to $15,000 off new Silverado HDs. Huge inventory, but these won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
As we come back, Trent Kahn and Adam Benz with you inside of 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
That was actually the second down pass.
Okay.
2nd and 2, and I think Coach would rather have him run that. He had a wide open field. He tried to throw back across his body. Usually a big no-no unless you're Brett Favre, but I think he could have ran for the first down. A learning point on tape there for Thorson.
Here's Thorson throwing it up and complete inside the 5-yard line.
Nice ball, and as the receiver went up there and made the play, that's what we talked about earlier. Like to see the receivers go up and get the ball. Did a fantastic job on that one, going to grab it.
Russell Potratz on the reception, 5'11" senior. Gets the grab. It'll be 1st and goal now for Fort Dodge. Nice looking play. Thorson now on the quarterback keeper up the gut. He is in for 6. Touchdown, Fort Dodge.
A little something for the Dodgers to build on there. Nice little quarterback counter play. And well blocked. Put his head right down behind his big guard that was pulling around on the backside. And just a little momentum builder for the Dodgers as they look for the bus ride home.
And got the, well, this is what my junior high coach called the Mickey Mouse formation.
Swinging gate.
Yep.
They're
going to try to run out of it.
He's going to get
it's a race to the corner and in for 2. How about that run out of Bryson Bell?
Yeah, one of those things where the score makes it look a little bit better at 22. To be honest, that might be something that Coach Matt Miller just wanted to have on tape. Because once you see something like that, it's going to force everybody who plays now down the road, whether it's Marshalltown or they get in the playoffs or they play Ankeny again. Guess what? They're going to have to spend a lot of time defending that swinging gate and that running play there.
It just takes time away from what you do, your simple execution of your offense and defense when you got to practice against that.
I think that's what Matt Miller was trying to do there for the future. Get that on tape, let people think about it, and hopefully waste 15 minutes of their practice so they could be doing something else. But nice play there.
56-22. Bell showed good speed, getting the 2-point conversion after the touchdown run from Thorson. 3:15 left in the fourth quarter.
Lining up like it's an onside kick. Jags an onside kick defense here.
As Fort Dodge just going to knuckle it a little deep here as it'll roll end over end inside the 10. Picked up at the 9-yard line from Gray as he's lit up as he was getting ready to take a knee.
Yeah, at this point, probably not worth going for the onside kick.
Yeah.
Nothing real great can come out of that. You might get the ball back, get another score, but really, honestly, it's probably not worth getting somebody injured.
So with 3:10 to play, and back within now 34 after the 2-point conversion, so we will revert back to.
Maybe that's what Coach was thinking there, trying to get within 34 and get the clock stopped. Maybe trying to get some young guys out here on the field, give them some varsity experience.
Get a couple more snaps at the very least. As Ankeny Centennial, new quarterback into the game on the run. That is Trey Hansen. Hansen gets a first down run for 11.
Looks like both sides trying to get some younger guys in here. which is great. Get him some varsity experience. Even though we are into week 7, still a lot of, certainly for the Jags, a lot of football to be played yet. You know, going into the playoffs. If you make it all the way to that state championship game, you play 13 games, so really just over halfway of their season right now.
First down to the 30-yard line for Ankeny Centennial with the new quarterback, Hansen. He'll hand it off out to the right side with it, Austin Jones. Ball comes loose. Still loose out there.
Well, a Dodger had his hands on it. And then a Jag, number 77, big offensive lineman, got in there. And it looks like the Dodgers have it.
And Fort Dodge will take over. Nate Howe had an opportunity to cover it up, the big guard, but scored it out of his hands after the fumble from Austin Jones. It'll give it back to Fort Dodge.
Yeah, I think he's disappointed not the fact that Jags didn't get the ball. It's just when you're an offensive line and get a chance to touch it, you get a little bit excited.
Yes, absolutely. 2:26 left. Here comes Fort Dodge's offense trotting back out on the field. Thorson.
I'd like to see this out of the Dodgers, not quitting, fighting to the very end. Very typical of a Matt Miller coach team. Has them going to the very end and trying to salvage a little bit of pride out of here and get some momentum going into next week.
Schreier, the receiver, left, trips to the right as Thorson rolls to the right. He's going to take a shot into the end zone. Going up, incomplete, trying to find Kershaw.
We had the guy he wanted one-on-one. Nice ball. Threw that, the only place that Kershaw was the only one that could get it. So very impressive throw there by Thorson. And, again, you can see why he's getting recruited as an athlete by Iowa State and certainly by other colleges as a quarterback as well.
Trey Hansen in coverage there, back from his safety spot, who had been playing quarterback, also working on defense. And Centennial showing their depth late in this football game. 2:17 left. Thorson from the gun. Pressure comes. He steps up in the pocket, throws it complete to Kershaw out to the 27-yard line, and momentum stop there. Nice solid coverage out on the outside. Kobe Neighbor.
Yeah, the thing that's impressive about the Jaguars secondary is how fast they get the ball once it's out there. Just a simple out route. Great catch by Kershaw, but that Jaguar defense was just right there to make sure he got nothing more than when he first caught the ball.
So Neighbor, good depth piece there, junior. He'll certainly be part of the plans for the 2020 season for Centennial. Getting some snaps here late in the game. Thorson eludes pressure as he rolls out to the right. Now he's going to run for it to the 25, brought down at the 24-yard line. Short gain there, and it will be opportunity now. Try to get a stop for the Centennial backups.
Basically, a good learning point there for Nathan Wild, the defensive end coming off there, number 44, 6'1", 185. He had the quarterback in his sights. He just didn't break down and make the tackle. Could have had himself a sack.
4th down and 1 from the 24-yard line. It'll be a quarterback draw up the gut. Thorson's got enough for the first down.
Good job there by the Fort Dodge offensive line, just coming off hard when they had to, getting that little crease for Thorson to get that 1 yard he needed for the first down.
Inside of a minute left here. Ankeny Centennial 56-22 over Fort Dodge. Dodgers with the football, though.
Love the competitive spirit here. The Fort Dodge Dodgers competing to the very end. Obviously not going to win the game, but they're trying their hardest.
Pressure comes, stepping up in the pocket. Now looking to run is Thorson. Forward for about 4.
You can tell he wants to get one to Kershaw really bad. He's looking down there in the end zone and just trying to get one more. Make the bus ride home a little bit more fun. A little something to talk about.
56-22 our score. Thorson again looking to the right. He's got a man out there, complete. Breaking a tackle and in for the touchdown. Tyson Kershaw scores again.
Well, great route by Kershaw. They've been running the go route. He was the outside man there. Made it look like he was running the back pylon. Just stopped at about the 2-yard line. And what a great ball by Thorson. Put it right on him. Of course, when Kershaw gets the ball in his hands, he knows what to do with it. Sidestepped his man and just reached out and put it in the end zone. We'll see if Coach Miller has any more swing gate plays in the playbook. Not tonight. Doesn't want to show the other ones.
No. Well, the line started out on the left side, but they center up back to the middle as Schillerstrom will line up for the extra point attempt with 11 seconds left in the ball game. High snap. The pressure comes, but Sillerstrom able to get it away and knock it through.
Fantastic job by the holder. I believe that was number 16, Dylan Zimmerman. Got that ball, reached up, tight end linebacker. Don't get a chance to give the holder props, but he did a fantastic job getting that one down and making that extra point good.
56-29, Jaguars over the Dodgers. This has been a weird game.
Dodgers certainly making it look respectable here.
Yeah, yep. We talked about it was getting away from Fort Dodge where score wasn't really indicative of the way that was played. But this final score also is not really how the game went either.
No, not really. Obviously, the Jaguars' offensive line and Avery Gates dominated things and were total control. Not to take anything away from the Dodgers here. That last drive was probably against some second-teamers, some JV-type guys. But got to credit Thorson, the guys up front, Kershaw, to keep battling.
Yeah.
If anything, this is something to build on for Coach Matt Miller. Makes the score look a little bit respectable. Other teams across the state see the score. It doesn't look as bad as it really was. And again, hopefully Fort Dodge things can bounce their way and they can hopefully make a run at the playoffs here and keep it interesting. I certainly think four of the top teams here in District 2 deserve to be in the playoffs.
5 seconds left after Nick Shirley returns it to the 29-yard line. One more snap, more than likely, for Ankeny Centennial. Will do it for the game this evening. 56-29 as the offense trots back out.
This is a classic Jerry Pizzetti type game. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Have close to 400 yards rushing. Running a lot of the stuff out of the old school wing T style of formations and blocking schemes. So he's certainly got to be happy tonight.
Hansen takes the knee, and there it is. Final score: Ankeny Centennial 56. Fort Dodge 29. We'll take a break, come back on the other side, and put a cap on things here from Ankeny.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Cotton and Adam Benz back with you one final time. Ankeny Centennial all over Fort Dodge tonight, 56-29. The final here. It was the night of Avery Gates as he goes over 300 yards in the first half, 5 touchdowns. And just great night for Ankeny Centennial. Fort Dodge, certainly plenty to take away from this game. Plenty of things to work on tape, but not a whole night of negatives overall.
No, there's a few miscues by Fort Dodge, set Ankeny up in good field position. A lot of things to build on. Obviously, the biggest thing I'm sure Ankeny Centennial will be working on is kick coverage.
Yeah.
They had some lapses there. Big game next week for Centennial as they take on Roosevelt. Obviously, can probably certainly wrap up the district with a win with them. One would expect. And then the week after that, playing Sioux City West. I think that's probably one that the coaching staff, you never want to look ahead. But that one, it's got to be. It feels like it could be one where you can get some guys play in the first half, and then rest them for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. For Fort Dodge, they will be home for the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Home for Sioux City West, and then Marshalltown comes in. That one certainly is going to have some playoff implications, you'd feel, in week number 9.
Yeah, Sioux City West coming in. I think it's just what the doctor ordered for this Fort Dodge team. Would fully expect them to have no problem with Sioux City West. And, that last weekend, you got to expect Fort Dodge has to win to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And then hope, right now, Fort Dodge is cheering for Ankeny Centennial. They want that RPI to go up. Everybody that they've had a loss to, certainly cheering for them. So it's in Fort Dodge's best interest. I believe Fort Dodge did beat Roosevelt. Or was it the other way around?
No, Roosevelt beat them
Fort Dodge.
16-14.
So then you got a scenario there where Fort Dodge has lost to both teams. So their RPI is not going to get hurt that bad, whoever wins that game. But I got to believe they're probably cheering more for the Jags in that game. And then they have to take care of business themselves.
56-29 the final here tonight. Ankeny Centennial all over Fort Dodge. Big thank you to everybody out there for checking in with us here tonight. Benz, it was fun.
Yeah, great atmosphere for high school football. Had that first crispness in the air.
Yes.
The air feels like it did feel like a playoff game as far as the air goes. Being cold feels like a November game. Certainly played into Ankeny's hands because this is where you kind of separate the men from the boys in playoff football. Who can run the ball? I think they're probably certainly going to have the attention of some of the higher teams in Class 4A, the Dowlings, the Valleys. They're going to see the score, and when those guys see this tape, they're going to realize Ankeny is legit again.
No doubt about it. 56-29 the final score. That'll do it for our coverage here tonight as Ankeny Centennial picks up their 6th win of the season, going to 6-1. Fort Dodge falls to 4-3. Thanks again for everybody out there for listening in. Thanks to the great crew here with CISN and my partner Adam Benz. I'm Trent Condon. Until next time, signing off from Ankeny.